Hey guys, welcome to Will Squared Sports Podcast, where we talk about sports. Today, we're just going to be talking about soccer, baseball, and basketball.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
we will be talking about college football and NFL on Wednesday night, probably going to be uploaded by Thursday. So keep an eye out for that. We're going to have a special guest, Gabe, who's been on this show before. He's going to help us get to the bottom of the college football and the playoffs and all that good stuff. This past weekend was was another crazy weekend for college football. Some of our teams that we had expected to win actually lost. So anyway, I really would love to talk about that, but we're just going to be talking about the other three sports today. I'm
Yeah.
Will Senior.
And I'm Will Jr., and I agree with him.
Yes.
I would love to be talking about college football right now because there's so much to talk about. But since Thanksgiving and Black Friday happened, plus the corrupted footage that I talked about already, we got to talk about soccer now. Yeah,
Yep.
soccer,
Let's just get
baseball,
started. Let's just jump in here. Go ahead.
yeah. So in the soccer world slash football world, you are obviously a Man City fan, and I'm a Barca fan. Our seasons are going in two completely different directions, and that's just putting it nicely. Let's start with your team first. City haven't won a game in about 40 days. Uh, it's shocking to even say that out loud. But City have had a bad run of games. You are obviously a City fan, so just tell the nice people your opinions on it, because yeah, you could say so
So
much about it, but also yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So I
Floor is
wouldn't
yours.
say that our teams are going in different directions because Barca is actually going through a little bit of a flunk too in the
Yes,
Liga, but we'll talk more about that. But
I love
yeah,
it.
City have lost 5 of 6, and even that fifth game that was a tie. We were actually up 3-0 with less than 15 minutes to go. The other
Fair
team
nude.
to
Yeah,
yes, I can't even pronounce their name, but yeah, they
yeah.
came back and tied us. A little frustrating, obviously.
Mhm.
We're not used to seeing this from City or even Pep run teams. Before this 6 game winless streak, the worst that any of Pep's teams had ever done was 3 losses.
Yep.
Um, and so this is definitely new territory for Pep as well as the team, because the majority of the team is still intact from a couple of years ago when they started this great run of 4 straight PLs, 5 of 6 PLs. So plus the treble couple 2 years
Yeah. Of
ago.
course.
So it's something new. Now, what is going on? I mean, internally, no one will know because that's internal, right? That's between Pep and the players. That's between Pep and the club. And whatever's happening in there is internal. I can say that first of all, we're missing 2 of the best players in the world, right? We're talking about Kevin De Bruyne and we're talking about Rodri.
Mhm.
Obviously, Rodri went down early on with ACL, and he's definitely going to be out. Although he's been telling anyone that would listen that he wants to come back this season. That's going to be really tough.
It's
And he's a
it's
young man; he can probably do it. We've
it's
seen
possible. Yeah.
it's
He got
possible.
hurt. He got hurt on September
Yeah,
22nd.
in
If you add
September.
7 months to that, that's only March.
Yeah,
So it's
so
possible, but
could
uh,
be, but I
yeah.
don't know if we want to push him to come back this year. I
Mhm.
would probably say no. Maybe get him ready for the Club World Cup. That would probably be the place where you can come back and help.
Yeah,
Which
that's
we can talk about that also. Maybe not today, but we can talk about that later on.
a
Um,
4 week tournament in the US. Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah,
What
yeah.
about
So,
yeah?
so and then Kevin De Bruyne, he's been hurt. In these last 6 games, he's only played less than 50 total minutes in all of these 6 games. You can tell a big difference when he does come into the game and the difference that he makes and the importance that he is, right?
Yes.
Um, Let's look at the defense. Ruben Diaz has been out. He just came back. His first game back against Liverpool, which we lost 2-0 this past weekend. So he's been out,
Yeah.
and he is the manager, the general, if you will, of the leader of the defense. We've had to kind of put in Ake, who's also been hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then
Akanji, who's been hurt.
Akanji, who's also been hurt. The
Jones,
only
who's
player
been hurt.
the only player that's been back there who hasn't been hurt is Garviol.
Vardiol. Yeah.
That's about it. Everybody else has been in and out of the lineup being with injuries. Walker has been injured, and unfortunately, and I hate to say this because I'm a big fan of his, but I think I think this will probably be his last year with City. He's
Yes.
not performing at a high level. He's getting beat. He's not getting back. A lot of I was watching the three goals that Freyu, whatever their team name is, they scored. They came from his side. Like he didn't come back fast enough to cover the area, and the balls were crossed over, and easy tap ins. From his side. So that's the defense. Let's talk about the mids, right? So obviously the biggest absence is Rodri, right? He covers a lot. He covers the defensive shortcomings, and he also protects the strikers and the wingers, right? So we're
Yeah.
missing. Who do we have in his place, right? We're talking about Kovacic. We have
Kovacic, Gundogan, Rico is even
Gondwan, Rico, who's really a defender, who's not really a defender. He plays in there too sometimes.
no, you're
So,
right. Yeah.
you have Nunez that came over last year, who, again, none of these players are a real six, right? These are all makeshift six that Pep has put in there because Rodri is out. Is there another player in the world that can play Rodri's role? Yes, but no one that's going to sell, right? And the question here is, does City want to buy a six that can do Rodri's work, considering that when Rodri comes back, he's going to be sitting on the bench, right? So, I mean, it's a big conundrum, right? Like, do we buy the player that we need in January to help us through the next 6 months, knowing that once Rodri comes back, he's going to be sitting on the bench most of the time. Obviously, Pep will give Rodri some rest. That's that. Let's look at the wingers and the attacking third. The only one that's really playing well is Savinho. That's it, right? You look at Foden. He is not playing at the same level. He is so below that level is insane. Then
Yeah,
you're looking at Doku. He's been hurt.
he's
You
been
look
hurt.
at Grealish. He's been
He's been
hurt.
hurt.
You look at Silva. He's trying his best, but again, it's kind of hard to carry the whole team from a winger position. Um, and then you have Holland, right? Holland hasn't been injured at all this year, which is good. Um,
But
but again, he can't do anything on his own.
by himself.
He
Thank you.
he
Yeah.
he relies on the team to put the ball into the area for him. He can finish,
He's a
although
striker.
he
Yeah, yeah. He's a
although he had two really good opportunities against Tottenham,
Tottenham,
Tottenham a couple of weeks ago, and he missed them both. That could have changed the
the whole
trajectory of the
game.
of the game, right? But it
Yeah.
didn't. But again, so he relies on the team to get him up there. Let's take a second and think. Okay, what if he gets injured? We don't have Julian anymore, right? We don't have Alvarez there. We don't have Arana to come
No.
in and help us out. So what do we do then, right? Do we go back to a false nine?
Yeah, you're gonna
Which
have to.
for
You're gonna have to.
me, I prefer that false nine team that we had 2 years ago before Holland came on. Yeah, Holland scored 50 and 50 each of the last two seasons. Yeah, totally. I like it, but it's not City. It's not Pep's team. And anyway, but that's a different discussion.
Yeah.
So all to say, I think historically, when I say historically, I'm talking about the last 5 to 6 to 7 years. City has turned it up in January, and in the new year, they always seem to, put into the next gear, and are able to go into runs of 20, 25 games without losing. Doesn't mean that they don't tie, but without losing. So could it happen this year? Maybe. It all depends on the injuries. It all depends on whether De Bruyne can come back full strength, right? And whether Kovacic and Gondwan can actually cover that 6 role, even if it's a double pivot, which you and I kind of like the double pivot. But I think they would be using too many players in the back and not enough attacking. I'm not sure why Pep is not going with a 3-back with the inverted backs. I'm not sure what's going on. I think he's just trying to play a standard 4-2-3-1 at this point. So I'm not sure. I'm looking at the team and I just don't recognize them. I don't recognize. That doesn't seem like they even put an effort toward competing. But anyway, let's stop ragging on them. Let's just hope that even for the Premier League, not just for me as a City fan or you as a City fan, but in the Premier League, you kind of need City to kind of be pushing everybody else, So hopefully, they turn things around. Our schedule does not look good for the next few games. I'm thinking that if we don't get our ducks in a row, we can potentially go 7, 8, 9 winless
I
games.
mean, yeah, you have Nottingham Forest on Wednesday the 4th.
Not easy.
You have
Not easy.
Crystal Palace, and then you have Juventus in the Champions League. You
Yep.
have the Manchester Derby
Yep.
with a coach that you just lost to 4-1
Yep.
in Sporting. You have Aston Villa, and then you have Everton, and then
Everton might be the easiest one there. Maybe the easiest one there. And we're talking about 5 games down the road. So, things can get even uglier if they don't turn it around. But let's just hope that they do. We'll go from there. But now that we're talking about our teams, Barca is kind of losing it in La Liga. So what do you think about that? What do you think is going on with them?
Yeah, no. Barca have literally choked the perfect season just in the last 2 weeks because we gave a chance to this god awful Madrid team. We let them back in the race. I mean,
and
they've been
Atletico.
playing.
Yeah.
Well, man, I was never gonna.
Atletico are always there. They're always hanging around.
They're always there. But Barca, in the last 3 La Liga games, only have 1 point.
Hey, that's one. Oh wait, we have 1 point too.
Yeah, but that's Champions League.
That's the Champions League. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. It's more than.
Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of the games since there are times where I'm doing other stuff or they're really early. But from what I'm seeing, it's a lot of like team management stuff and also just to play. We've reached a time in our season where you gotta like have like squad rotations. There's a lot of games being played. You gotta like put new players in. Injuries are gonna happen, and that's just happened to Barca. I'm not like worried about this run, but it is a chance to get used to what's a coming. More squad rotations, injuries. Like Yamal got hurt, so he didn't play. Lopez, Gavi's starting to get his 90 back. Same with like Frankie. So just little things that'll happen. Unfortunately, there's a little like too many games to be doing this. Like 3 games in a row is not good, especially when Real Madrid is like breathing down your neck. But yeah, they're not playing well right now in La Liga. But in the Champions League, it's a completely
It's a different story.
That'll just go into our next topic. The Champions League, bro. There are 3 games left, and this table is good. Now, we did say before this season that this like new format is great for fans, but terrible for players. Now we see why.
Too many games.
See why. Yeah, too many games for the players, but for us fans, this table is actually great. Like it really like shows you like who the best teams are and like what they're doing. For example, the only team that's 100% so far is who?
Liverpool.
And then you have a big team that's all the way down in 25th place that right now they'd be out, and that's PSG. And just a spot like one more above them, Real Madrid.
Yep.
And they have 3 more games. So tell me, man, what are your opinions on the Champions League so far? Like according to the tables, these top 8 teams are kind of the good teams. You have a Liverpool, you got Barca, Dortmund, Atalanta, Leverkusen, Monaco, Arsenal, and Milan. So it's a good
Yeah.
top 8 for now.
So, with Real Madrid, they're what, 1 point under the
2 points. 2
2
points.
points. Okay.
Oh
So
wait, sorry. No, they're 4 points
they're 4 points clear, or 4 points below
below
the playoff, or
8th place.
the
Yes.
next
Yes.
stage of UCL. And I think Man City, they're what, 15th
Man City are 17th.
or 17th. So they're
So yeah.
they're
So
in, but not.
if it finished right now, it'd be Man City against Milan in a
Yeah.
playoff.
Yeah. Well,
AC Milan. AC,
so
not Inter.
yeah. So for fans, especially for fans that don't like Real Madrid too much, this is
Mhm.
really good news for them, right? Even fans that don't like PSG for whatever reason, this is good news for them, right? Because they're seeing them at the bottom. Now, am I going to sit here and think that Real Madrid are going to be out? No, I don't. I really think they're going to turn it up at least enough to get into the playoff area stages and the knockout stages, and potentially make it all the way to the final. I mean, these guys, for some reason, Real Madrid always, it doesn't matter how bad they're playing, they always seem to find a way to win the Champions League. So yeah, I don't expect them to be there that long. I'm thinking that the next 3 games they'll probably win all 3 and be able to get into the knockout stages. So
Their
it's going to
first
be
game.
interesting. It'll be interesting because, again, there's just so many games being
Yeah.
played, and then with this Club World Cup, now you're adding that many more games to these players, right? So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
All right. Our last topic before we move on to another sports.
Yeah.
Is the Prem race over? You and I have watched Prem for 10 plus years. We know how it works, how the meta works, how the game works. It's 11 points. It's December 2nd as of right now, so you can't really say it's over because it's Man City.
Yeah.
But this year's like City, this year's like Liverpool. Like, what can you say?
So I mean, let's talk about Liverpool. Yeah, they're playing great right now.
Yes.
It's a new manager or a new coach, right?
Yes.
So let's look at what happened to Tottenham last year. They started off really well, and then they hit a snag, and that was it for them, right? Now, am I saying that Liverpool is going to go through the same that Tottenham went through last year? No, I'm not saying that at all, but there's a possibility. Also got to consider, and yes, you're right, this is not the same city team that we've seen for the past few years, but a couple of years ago, when Liverpool did reach 99 points, or 98, I'm sorry, Liverpool was up on City by about 8 points at this point in the season.
There was more
So,
than that.
or maybe even more.
It was 7 points on January 2nd. It could have been 10.
Okay.
That was the derby that they played on the.
Yeah.
That was a great game. That was a great game.
Yeah. So, all to say that, is the Premier League over? No, I don't think so. Am I saying that City will win it? I'm not saying that at all. You have Arsenal, who are playing really well now. They're starting to pick it up again. They're pushing Liverpool, although Liverpool is 8 points clear of everybody now, the field.
It's a closer gap between 2nd and 15th than 1st and 2nd.
Yeah. So, I mean, anything could happen. I don't think it's over. Not necessarily. There's a lot of games left, and a lot of things can happen. I mean, even last year, I think it was, that Arsenal was up by 7 points with 4 games left or something like that, and
2 years ago.
Or 2 years ago, and City still won it. So it could change in 1 month. It can change in 2 weeks. But yeah, Liverpool are playing great.
Yeah.
I mean, they're even proving it in Champions League.
Yeah,
definitely a great team.
Yeah, Slot hasn't really balling. We've seen Klopp been there since 2016. We know his style, but now it's a little different, but still the same thing, same squad.
Yeah.
But now they're playing a little slower, more tactical with the players that they have. Great. It's great.
Yep.
Next year, it's gonna be a crazy year for Liverpool next season because Salah might leave.
Maybe move on. Yeah. He hasn't had a new contract.
Yeah. Van Dijk might leave. Trent's pretty much already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be
So
a
we'll
good
see. Yeah,
year.
it'll be interesting, but no, I don't think Premier League is over yet.
Okay.
All right, man. Let's
Yeah,
jump into baseball really quick.
baseball.
Um,
Let's go. Okay.
you
All right.
know, what do you want to talk about first?
We have had our first big move in free agency,
Which sucks for us.
and there is a new Death Star out there, and their name are the Los Angeles Dodgers because Blake freaking Snell signed a 5-year 182 with the Dodgers. What does this do? What this does, you have 3 aces on your team. I'm talking Garrett Cole ace type. Blake Snell on his day is unhittable. This year, he banked on himself. He only signed a 1-year deal with the Giants to get more money. Had a great year, and now look at him now. He got more money. He didn't have to move that much like further down because he played with the Giants this past year and has to go just like 500 miles to Los Angeles. And you have Ohtani who's going to pitch, which again on his day he's a Cy Young winner. And then you have Yamamoto who's played his first year just last year, pitched good to great. He has more experience, and you might still have freaking Sasaki in about like 2 weeks, and even
Yeah, who's
more
coming from the
because
Japanese
Kershaw's
league?
still there. Kershaw's still there. He might sound like Walker Bueller back. So that probably means that Flaherty, he's probably gone then. But yeah, so the Dodgers got the first big pick in this crazy time of free agency, and yeah, the only
Yeah, I'm
hope for the
thinking
baseball
so.
world.
So do you feel that the Yankees missed out on that because they're
Oh
holding
no,
the
no,
bag for Soto? No.
no.
So it had nothing to do with Soto yet. Okay.
I did not
Yeah.
think that the Yankees would even get Snell, like push for Snell, but also I was hoping it would be not the Dodgers. Literally
Yeah.
any team but the Dodgers. So now the only hope for the baseball fans around the world for this, like not to be a straight like Dodger win 6 straight championships is I don't even know. Bad luck or
Yeah.
injuries. That's really it.
Yeah. I mean,
Soon more to come though. Okay, like soon there's more to come. These like free agencies is getting hot. Is about that time. It's
yeah.
December 2nd. It's gonna be a long next like 2 weeks.
Yep.
Really good.
Yep. So let's jump over to Soto because we've talked a little bit
Soto.
about it. What are you hearing?
Soto talks are starting to heat up. The Red Sox have emerged as a favorite. And I kind of see it. I mean, look at their left field. There's nothing there. It's a green
Yeah.
monster. I mean, that's a great contract for the Red Sox if they land him. The Yankees are looking like they're the third favorite to get him, which is not good for us. But now all that we can hope is that he signs like somewhere like quickly. The Yankees are not just like sign there like quickly, so we can have like more chance to get the rest of the stars if it's not the Yankees. But it looks like, man, it's going to be the Mets or Red Sox. And if it's Mets or Red Sox, I would prefer he goes to the Mets. Honestly,
Yeah.
if he
No
goes
way.
to the Red Sox, he's getting booed to hell the next time he steps foot
Well, I think he's going to get booed
in the
regardless of
Bronx.
where he goes. To be honest with you,
It
um,
depends.
I just hope Cashman is not just sitting back waiting. Yeah, I'm hoping that he's making other moves behind
I would hope. Yeah.
behind the scenes, like getting ready for first baseman,
Yeah. Christian Walker. That's a great
defensive
point.
defensive players that can help minimize the errors, the fielding errors.
Yeah. No, of
That's what
course.
I'm hoping he's doing. I'm hoping he's not putting all his eggs in the Soto basket because it's starting to seem like it's not going to become a reality. And I'm okay with that, to be honest with you. I mean, like you said, he had the best season last year. Who's to say he's going to actually reproduce that, right?
Yeah.
Um, he may not. And then if he does, good for him. But what if he doesn't? And we paid all these millions to him and we've tied up so much of the payroll on him. Um, but it
That's
is
the
what it
worth
is. We'll
of
have to see.
that's the worth of the money is that
Yep.
we saw the best Juan Soto this past year, and you gotta be
Yep.
like, what if he repeats it?
Yeah.
He'll get some championships.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm hoping it's not the Red Sox. But if it's not the Yankees, there's still like plenty of things for the Yankees.
Oh yeah.
Do like first baseman Christian Walker. You need like defense.
We
Willie
need
Adames.
mid relievers.
Uh,
We need starting
you can get a
pitchers.
pitcher. Honestly, Corbin
Yeah.
Burns is still out there.
Yeah.
You get like Santander for left fielder, a guy from the O's. There's still like plenty of things to do.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Let's jump into our last sport for today. I'm going to let you lead this conversation. I have not been watching a lot of basketball.
Oof.
Um,
Basketball is
and
really good this year.
so go for it, man. Take it
All
away.
right. First team I'm very impressed with. The Houston Rockets are the second seed in the West.
Wow.
They are balling. They
Houston Rockets.
ever since the James Harden trade, they just have gotten picks and used them well. And also got like good like, role players. They signed Van Vliet like 2 years ago. He's a champion. Good for the young stars. They got like Jalen Green, first round pick, balling. Senjin, the center, balling. They're 15-6. They probably won't go deep this year because they're a young team. But god damn, do we have another freaking powerhouse in the West? We got the Thunder there already. We have the Mavs there already. We have the Nuggets. We have our Lakers, obviously. Like, go to the East or something. What the hell's going on?
Well,
Give the Lakers a
the East
chance.
is always the East has been, I don't know if this is true, this is just my perception, but the East has been one or two teams and everybody else. And it's been like this for years and years. And I'm talking about back when LeBron was still in Cleveland and LeBron was still in Miami. I'm talking about years that it's just been one or two teams that have been like head and shoulders over the rest in the East. And it's been and they have not been the best team in the NBA either.
No. I would argue that that's been like that since the 60s, honestly. Like, Celtics has always been a mix.
No, sure.
In the 80s, it was a Celtics or Sixers pretty much in the finals. Towards the 90s, it was a Pistons or Bulls. Bulls throughout. The entire 2000s, Pistons again. Could have been just like a random team. But the East
Yeah.
has always been like the little brother, honestly.
Yeah, the West has always been a
Always stacked.
very gauntlet type of
Yeah.
playoffs. I mean, obviously you had the Lakers of the 80s who
The
kind of just went
Lakers,
through there.
the
The Lakers
Spurs,
of the late 90s, Spurs,
like
the early 2000 Lakers who kind of just took over the whole league by then.
yep.
Then you have
The Mavs also was there
Golden State, so
with
yeah, it
Dirk.
seems like the West has always been a stronger conference.
Yeah. All right. Up next, just a special shout out to our home team, the
Okay.
Washington Wizards,
Oh, right.
for not winning a single game in the month of November.
No.
They went 0-14 in the month of November.
Wow.
I mean, man, I
Aren't
got
they? But
friends.
they're kind of rebuilding over here, right? I mean, I
Yes,
see that they have a lot of young players.
they gave the huge contract to freaking Kuzma.
Well,
Kuzma.
yeah. I mean, I'm kind of glad that they gave him that contract because
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
want him in the Lakers
On
for
the
sure.
Lakers.
So you're saying that they have a lot of money tied into him, and they can't find other players to come in and play
I'm not fully saying that. I'm not sure how the cap works in the
in basketball. Yeah.
NBA, but his contract right now is a 3-year for 40 mil. So it's not like chump change, but
Yeah, but it's still that's not. I mean, LeBron is making what 40 million this year.
yeah, but that's the Lakers. That's different.
I mean, okay,
Hey, they should have a lot of money because Jordan Poole's contract is also a 4-year. Oh, okay, never mind. I see it now. So
yeah.
Jordan Poole is getting paid 28 mil this year. Okay, well that's what it is.
Well, definitely not Kuzma then.
That was still a Jordan Poole. Take your
Yeah,
pick. Take your pick.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
Wow. So 14 straight losses in November. Wow,
they're 2-16
wow.
overall. I got some friends who are their fans, so they're pretty
Yep,
sad about it. I feel bad for them because they've never been good.
yep.
Yeah, so poor Washington. Up next, a special topic: the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
So
Haven't they not been playing well this year?
they're back, but
Oh, they are.
not for the reason that you might think.
Okay.
So we talked about this about 2 or 3 weeks ago that the Bucks they start off, I think 2-6, 2-8, something like that.
Yeah.
They were really low in the East, and I was like, they're not making the playoffs if Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham are the damn two coaches, right?
Yeah.
I did not think about the fact that Giannis could literally go God mode and have 50 points a game for 10 straight games. And that's what he's pretty much did. Throughout the last 10 to 15 games, I think he's averaging like 36, 15, and like 8 or 7.
Damn.
So I will not take back my statement, okay, because this is not a coaching. This is a Greek freak.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So Bucks are back in the playoff picture. The East is weak as hell, so we know that they actually might make the playoffs and push for a spot like the Celtics,
Sure.
the Heat, the Cavs probably. But yeah, Giannis is playing like an MVP, but unfortunately his team sucks, so he won't only get it. 2 more. The Knicks, right? Knicks.
New York Knicks.
This Knicks season is really weird, and it all started with that damn like trade for Cat. Right, these Knicks are playing well, but they are inconsistent. This past week, there's a game where I think like 4 of their other players had like 20 or more points, with 2 of them being about like 35 or something, like Jalen Brunson and Cat. But now like the team chemistry is starting to show a little more, because this past year there's a lot of small ball. It was like 4 guards in the center. This year you have Cat playing, who's kind of like a half 4, half 5. Josh Hart is still there. It's more size. So I just want to talk about the Knicks just being like, they're not playing great right now, but they will be playing really great soon. Once they get there, like chemistry, all good, they're going to be a really tough team to stop, because they have a lot of scoring options, like deep bench, good like 3-point shooters, and a good like defensive team.
Yeah.
So that's the Knicks. Knicks are going to be a fun team to watch. The East, the Final Four should be the Magic, Cavs, like Celtics, and the Knicks. If it's not that we've seen a crazy upset in the first round, because those 4 teams are playing like way better than the rest. And lastly but not least, our Lakers,
the LA Lakers.
The Lakers, what do you know about them?
I know they lost yesterday or last night, but I think they have a good, aren't they? I'm sorry,
they won yesterday.
Oh, they did win yesterday, you're right.
Because the coach of the Jazz called the timeout with 1 second left. I'll show you the video afterwards, but
why would he do that?
I don't know.
Oh,
I'll show you the video. And guess what? His player made the bucket, but the timeout happened before, so it didn't count. And they missed the game winner.
Oh my goodness.
Lakers won.
Well,
so Lakers. These Lakers are slowly getting there to their full potential. They have not had a great game against a great team yet. They got blown out by the Nuggets and by the Suns. They lost to the Magic by 1, but they're beating teams too. The Spurs, the Jazz yesterday, Thunder on Friday night was a great game. So there's some optimism, but may I just say this West is going to be stacked by the end of this.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the top 10 teams all in the West are 2 games above 500 or more. Guess how many teams have above like 2 wins above 500 in the East?
Probably 1 or 2.
4.
4. Okay.
4 compared to 10.
Yeah.
And that's the play-in too. So you may have a 50-win play-in team on the West. But the NBA Cup, the last couple rounds are set to happen, I think, these next 2 weeks.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about that soon, next week.
I'll start watching some games when I'm able to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's again like
you don't like to watch it though.
That's the thing, between you and me, like we talked about this before. I'm old school basketball, and just watching this new era is a little frustrating to me. It's just a little frustrating to me to watch. Fouls are called for no reason. It's just, I don't know. Again, it's just, I just haven't spent a lot of time watching games because I just can't sit there and watch the whole game. I get frustrated, irritated, and I just have to do something else.
Yeah,
but much. I'll try to watch a little bit more. I mean, last year I did catch a few Laker games. Obviously, this year I've only watched a little bit of 1 or 2. I haven't really sat down through the whole game. But I may do that. I think they play on Christmas Day. I may not have anything else going on that day, so I may just watch it. But we'll see. So I guess that's it. We covered the sports that we wanted to talk about. but guys, subscribe to us because come Wednesday night, and again, the video will be uploaded either Thursday or Friday. We will be talking about college football. We will be talking about the NFL. There's a lot of stuff to talk about with that, and we definitely want you guys to join us. Drop us a like, drop us a comment, let us know how we're doing, and that's it for us today. So we are
Out.
out.